In March 2024, the Indian government has issued a revised guidelines under the Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act 2016. Under the revised guidelines, the government of India has mentioned the parameters for assessing the percentage of disability for people who are living with disabilities. And under the Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act, these people will be given certain let's say benefit under various government schemes. Hello everyone, my name is Zahidul and today we are going to discuss about a very important issue related to sickle cell disease or sickle cell anemia, and we are going to discuss how people who are living with sickle cell disease can get benefit under the government schemes, and we are also going to understand what are the hardships that may be faced by people under the sickle cell disease. So let us see the topic that we are going to discuss today. So the topic that we are going to discuss today is sickle cell, the battle for disability justice. All right. So now we are going to discuss about the act also, and we are also going to discuss about what difficulties do the people face who are facing, let's say, like certain kind of disabilities in India. And we will also discuss about the issue of benchmark disability. We will understand what is the meaning of benchmark disability. We will also understand how the government decides who falls under benchmark disability and who does not fall under this. All right. So in this particular article, we are going to discuss this particular topic in detail. So as we talked about that, we are going to discuss about Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act of 2016. Okay. So this act is already in place, and recently the government of India has released a revised guideline. All right. So under the revised guideline that was released in March 2024, the government of India has mentioned about assessing the extent of disability of people with 2 copies of sickle cell gene or with both sickle cell and beta thalassemia or HBD. Now, sickle cell disease is a very painful and progressive and disabling blood disorder. It disproportionately affects marginalized communities. Okay, so sickle cell disease means like it's a condition where the shape of the red blood cells or RBCs, right, become sickle shaped. I mean, like, let us discuss about it. Generally, the RBCs are somewhat, let's say, of this shape, but like if someone is facing sickle cell disease, so their red blood cells become sickle shaped. So when they are sickle shaped, so the oxygen carrying capacity of the blood reduces, and it affects people hugely. I mean, like, people will have to go for blood transfusion once every month. People also go for various other kind of treatment, but like, people do generally live with sickle cell disease throughout their life. Their life expectancy also reduces, and along with this, let's say, it's a very painful and progressive disease. Means like initially the amount of pain that a person is feeling, right, may be low, but like slowly and gradually as the time passes, the amount of pain and other let's say, like, other issues will keep on increasing. So like, sickle cell disease is a very difficult syndrome or a very difficult disease to live with. All right. So we are discussing about that today. So now we are going to discuss about a issue which is which we have termed as narrow lens of disability. Okay. So basically the thing is, like, government of India has also mentioned under that particular act one particular thing, which is benchmark disability. So what do we mean by benchmark disability? It means a person who faces disability, right, to the extent of 40% or more. Let's say, like, there is a person who is facing certain disability from a certain disease, or maybe many other kind of disabilities may be there. If that disability is more than 40%, only then it will be termed as benchmark disability. And this is termed as benchmark disability under section 2R of the Rights of Persons with Disability Act 2016. So now the thing is, like, this disability percentage is far from an objective measure. I mean, like, it's not an objective measure. Why it is not an objective measure? It is because, let's say, like, the disability certificates are provided to the disabled person by medical boards, right, that constitute the chief medical officer. So the medical boards are different hospitals, medical boards and doctors can assign different percentages to the same person for the same disability that he is facing. So it's not an objective measure to calculate the benchmark disability. So this is a criticism of the, let's say, of the benchmark disability criteria under this particular act. And this particular law that we are talking about, Rights of Persons with Disability Act, this particular law aligns with the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, right? It promotes dignity, equality and non-discrimination. But the thing is, like in India, the criteria that we have mentioned, benchmark disability, as we discussed, right, it is far from being an objective criteria. Now, what is the burden of proof? So like we are going to discuss about the burden of proof. Burden of proof means, let's consider there is a person who is a disabled person, right? And if he wants to claim, right, certain benefits that the government of India has intended to provide to the, let's say, like disabled person. So he has to produce a certificate of disability. And how he acquires the certificate of disability? He acquires the certificate of disability by applying, right, in a medical board that constitutes the chief medical officer and other medical officers, right? But the thing is, like, getting that certificate is difficult, and then it is discretionary on the part of the medical board. I mean, like, they may assign any percentage that they wish to. And they may check the medical records of the person, the present medical records, and also previous medical records, all right? So the thing is, like in India, several schemes provide special benefits to individuals with a certified degree of disability. When we talk about Odisha and Himachal Pradesh, right, they provide enhanced pension schemes to persons with disabilities. Apart from this, under Section 80U of the Income Tax Act 1961, right, there is a flat deduction of rupees 75,000, right, on taxable income. And there is, it is enhanced also to 1.25 lakh for persons with benchmark disabilities. As I discussed, that benchmark disabilities are those disabilities, I mean, like when people face more than 40% of disability in a particular disease or in a particular ailment, right? The major barrier that lies in India is the certification process itself, because certification process is not very objective. It varies from region to region, it varies from hospitals to hospitals, and disabled person face a lot of difficulty in acquiring those certificates. So the thing is, like, we have to find and identify other ways also, right, to minimize the difficulties that persons of disabilities are facing. And we have to ensure that these people are integrated into the society, they are given due respect that the society should provide, and at the same time they should, I mean, like, not face any further discrimination, right, from the part of the government. Okay, they should be treated well, they should be given, let's say, as much benefit as the society can provide to them. That's all from my side for the day. Thank you so much everyone for watching this video. I hope you have a good day ahead. Thank you.